is no place that celebrates the elegance of the automobile quite like the Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance.
It's a beauty pageant for automobiles, but one where the bar for entry is set very high.
Like bubbles in champagne, these have risen to the top. Some of the most exclusive, most valuable collector cars in the world.
I love cars, and I love the fact that there's so many ways to enjoy them, and that's kind of the point, right? When you have a passion, you should have the full breadth of fun with it.
The full breadth of fun here, though, can be very serious. That's Sandra Button, who chairs this invite-only event every summer. It's got a Kentucky Derby kind of vibe, she says, with the cars as the thoroughbreds.
As more and more time goes by, as caretakers, it's important that we keep them authentic, that we're really here for the cars.
But just up the road from the perfect green carpet that is the 18th fairway at Pebble Beach, on the not-so-manicured lawns of the Seaside City Hall, is another event that's gained popularity that's more corn dog than caviar.
Yeah there, show me your hand.
Welcome to the Concours de Lemons, as in lemons. An ode to the less desirable, less loved,
Oh, this is a beauty.
and less expensive driveway dwellers.
How long have you owned this car?
I bought this yesterday.
I'm the head gasket of the Concours de Lemons.
That's Alan Galbraith, who stitched together this monstrosity back in 2009.
Good morning, Concours de Lemons. Thank you all for coming, risking life and limb to drive your hoopty here.
Like Pebble Beach, it's a once-a-year celebration of cars, but here, the cars ooze with mediocrity instead of pedigree.
We kind of figured if there's a top, there needs to be, rock bottom, and that's what we do.
The car categories in the contest say it all. There's the Swedish meatball class, the soul-sucking Japanese appliance class, and the award for Rust Belt American junk.
I don't own any nice cars.
Will Hughes was dressed just as questionably as his award-winning entry, a 1983 Oldsmobile Cutlass. The Gutless, he calls it.
It started out from the factory with 75 horsepower. Now it's 50. Sounds like you hit a dog when you get up to 50 miles per hour.
Now, the Concours de Lemons means no disrespect. In fact, it's just the opposite.
A lot of people, they'll see a VW Bug. You can come up with the story of, me and, 6 of my idiot buddies went to a concert. We all crammed in that car and went there. Not everybody has that story about a Duesenberg or a Ferrari, right? So there's a little bit more connection to some of these cars.
First cars, first dates, first kiss. Ugly doesn't mean unmemorable.
It's less sometimes about the car itself than the story behind it.
Some of the stories are staggering. They're, A, hilarious, or B, heartwarming, and that's part of it.
You guys must be so proud. What a big moment in your lives.
There's no best of show here, only worst of show.
Our 2017 Concours de Lemons Worst of Show.
Past winners have included this double-ended Honda and a fur-covered Lincoln Continental named Buttercup.
Unlike at Pebble Beach, where they give you a new Rolex, here you get a used Timex.
This year, Chris Wallard took home the top prize.
This is the 2525 Galaxy Glider from a planet really far away.
For entering what can only be described as an unidentified driving object.
What's it like to drive?
It's terrifying. Yeah, it was a terrible idea. But it looks cool, and that's all that matters.
Do your worst with the silly string.
So does it feel dignified?
It feels something. I don't know if dignified is the term.
As the silly string festivities were coming to an end, Alan Galbraith began shifting gears for the job he'd start the following morning.
1903 Simplex Mercedes. All original. It's absolutely stunning.
Yep, for all the love he has for Pintos and Pacers at the Concours de Lemons, he respects the Bugattis and the Bentleys at the Concours d'Elegance too. He's an experienced docent here.
I enjoy both. They're, different sides of the same coin, basically.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not sure what side of the coin.
It's arguable.
Now, you might think he'd be shunned here in the rarefied ocean air of Pebble Beach, but believe it or not, he's actually embraced.
He's such a trickster, and it was just so fun to think, on this weekend when Pebble Beach is so serious, that somebody was having a little poke at us and having some fun and kind of taking the seriousness out of all of it.
From the rare to the rotten, America's love affair with the automobile is a bit promiscuous. After all, enthusiasts will stop and look at just about anything, whether it's roadworthy or not.
If you're laughing, smiling, having a good time, a little bit of levity into what can be a fairly serious thing, if you're having fun, I've done my job.
To Luke Burbank and a man who makes selling cars. Truly music to your ears.
Andrew Hires might have the best singing voice of any car salesman in America. That's because most of his adult life hasn't involved selling cars. It's involved singing opera. How do you describe your vocal range?
Bass baritone, and that's right above bass, but below baritone, its own specific genre. And lately I've exhibited some tenor notes.
The thing is, Florida's Space Coast, where Andrew lives, is not exactly an opera hotbed.
Gather with the saints by the river.
That, combined with a 2018 cancer diagnosis that sidetracked his singing, and at 38, Hires found himself scrambling to make a living any way he could. So he decided to sell cars for this guy.
I'm A.J. Hires at Butterface Hires Kia in Melbourne, Florida.
A.J. Hires, who, yes, does happen to have the same last name.
It's a distant relation, but I haven't really figured out how close we are related.
Not close enough that it helped Andrew much during his first few weeks. In fact, he was having no luck selling cars or getting much attention at the dealership.
You're not going to give a new car salesman any of the hot leads until you prove you can sell. So how am I going to separate myself from the other salesmen? I picked a car and I sang some opera in front of it.
Come in and ask for Andrew. Butterface Hires Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram.
But even after he recorded his songs, Hires was too nervous to post them on his real Instagram account.
I was kind of reluctant to share with the world that this is what I'm doing now, because 10, 15 years ago, if you had a second job, it said you weren't a serious opera singer. You need to be devoted to your art.
So he created a secret Instagram account called Luciano Carverati, but then accidentally posted the songs to his real account.
It blew up immediately, just getting likes and comments right off the bat.
If Escamillo had a car, this is what he would drive.
That happy accident of posting to the wrong account turned Andrew into an internet darling.
That used Corvette, it just was sold, and it was not sold by me.
All told, the videos have been viewed over 8 million times, helping Andrew sell 7 cars already in his short career.
My general manager called me and says, hey, there's a guy with your name. He's an opera singer and he's singing about the cars and he's putting it online and customers are inquiring about it.
A.J. Hires says he's impressed with Andrew's ability to generate interest on the internet, but he was also quick to point out that despite their distant family relationship, did the musical talent make its way to your side of the Hires family?
Absolutely not. I couldn't carry a tune if you paid me.
Al pasar le pregunté que quién estaba con ella.
Someone who can sing is 90-year-old Roman Ortega Cowan, retired banker and artistic director at the Vero Beach Opera, whose cast hires in multiple productions.
Have you seen the videos with the cars?
No. I had to stay late and realize I admire a guy like that. He's true to his compass, where he wants to go. But he needs that little break. He needs that little chance. A wandering minstrel eye in need of a cheap compass.
For his part, Hires hasn't given up on his singing dreams.
I want to be performing everywhere. I don't feel more alive than if I'm on a stage in front of 1,000 strangers.
To drive wherever my love is.
I am never going to stop being an artist, but I'm done with the starving part.
Now, a modern-day Sunday drive with our David Pogue.
Every year, 1.2 million people die in car accidents. But the drivers of these cars have made 5 million trips with no fatalities at all.
Never get fatigued, never get bored, never get angry on a phone call. We fundamentally believe that this will result in a safer driver.
These are self-driving taxis. Shashwat Panigrahi is the chief product officer at Waymo, the Google sister company that operates them. Every week, these AI drivers give 250,000 rides in San Francisco, LA, Phoenix, and Austin. Coming soon, Atlanta, Miami, and 10 other cities.
1 in 5 folks above 65 don't have a driving license. 7 million plus Americans have vision loss. Our road shouldn't be a privilege for some and peril for others. And I think autonomous vehicles, we have believed from the get-go, can make the roads safer and more accessible for everyone.
I like that it's driverless. I don't find it intimidating. It's really great. I feel safe in it.
San Franciscan Steve Carmel is a fan.
How does it compare overall with an Uber or a Lyft?
The wait time for a Uber or a Lyft is usually much longer than it is for a Waymo. And the second part of that is you don't have to tip the driver.
I never thought of that.
I hope I don't get a lot of hate mail.
Waymo has 1,500 cars on the road, all electric white Jaguars with a few modifications. These dark panels are radar, which can see through fog and rain. The spinny things are called LiDAR. They can see objects 300 yards away in all directions. And then there are the 29 video cameras, which can actually read what's written on traffic signs.
I mean, it seems like humans should be able to replicate this if we just had 5 or 6 of us sticking our heads out the roof, facing different directions. We'd have the same safety record as the Waymo.
You would not have radar sensing around corners.
At this San Francisco maintenance facility, I thought I'd put those sensors to the test.
So these cars coming by, these are all autonomous?
Fully autonomous.
They're coming to park to charge?
Yes.
I'd like to do something that I didn't prepare you for. I'm going to be a clueless pedestrian on my phone. Wow!
Yeah.
A+.
Yeah. And did you notice, by the way, that it didn't wait until you were actually in front of it? It predicts what you're going to do next.
So what's it like to ride with Waymo's artificial intelligence as your driver? Well, spooky at first, because nobody's in the driver's seat. But overall, smooth and conservative. It always goes the speed limit, and it makes a full stop at stop signs. It gracefully passes parked cars. Slows down for speed bumps. And pulls over for fire trucks. Getting a car to drive itself at all is an astonishing feat.
So it was brutally hard. The scale of it is just staggering. How would we react to that in rain? How would we react to that if it were snowing? How would we react to that if a truck was blocking our view of that?
I would imagine if you were to code all this, it's easy at the beginning. Stop at a red light, go on a green light. But it gets weirder and weirder. I mean, driving is totally unpredictable.
Absolutely. We see examples on Halloween of people dressed as large dinosaurs walking that we have never seen before.
You hadn't coded for that.
No, we hadn't. But now the system has learned that, and is able to respond to that. So this Halloween, we're able to detect where impromptu trick-or-treating was happening and avoid those streets completely dynamically.
The difficulty of the problem explains why Tesla and Amazon keep postponing their robo-taxis. General Motors' Cruise service shut down completely in December after an accident where one of its cars dragged a pedestrian. Waymo is now the only robo-taxi service in the US, and even it's had some bumps in the road. There was the time Waymos honked all night.
The Waymo was stuck.
Or the time they had a standoff at an intersection.
Because the Waymo is trying to go behind the Amazon, but then it's stuck behind the Waymo, and oh my God, there's another Waymo. What's everybody gonna do?
Waymo haters, who consider the cars creepy and worry about losing jobs, have occasionally vandalized the cars or put cones on them so they won't move.
Your ride is booked.
It'll be here in 1 minute.
Okay, I'm gonna hit start ride.
Yeah, start ride.
Start ride.
But according to Waymo's consumer research director, Megan Neese, people are mostly just afraid of change.
Like anything, when you got something totally new, it takes a minute. Like sometimes people feel surprised or need to adjust to that change.
And that's why, when Waymo sets up in a new city, it spends months just letting empty cars drive around, so people get used to seeing them.
You kind of see, oh, it's just another car, right? And as you kind of see more and more of that, then we do see the acceptance of the technology go up.
I mean, there must be people who say, "You're not catching me dead in one of those things."
Of course, yeah. We also see riders that are really inspired about it and then bring their friends or their relatives and just try it with me, Mom, And so we see that that also changes over time with experience.
Sashwat Panagrahi says that Waymo's cars have carried passengers 50 million miles so far, with 78% fewer injury-causing crashes than human drivers, and no fatalities.
Autonomous vehicles are reality today. They're not in the future. Tens of thousands of your fellow Americans are taking rides each day.
Steve Carmel is one of them.
All right, well, thanks, man. Have a good ride.
Thanks a lot.
And he's not looking back.
Drive safely, guys.
Okay, thank you.
Take care.
For decades now, Americans have been captivated by the idea of the car of the future, be it electric, self-driving, even flying. But as Lee Cowan tells us, some students in Kansas are finding their future in the automotive past.
There are country roads outside McPherson, Kansas, about an hour north of Wichita, that haven't changed much in 100 years. And if you follow them to the campus of McPherson College, it seems time has slowed even more. Model Ts putter around, so do vintage tractors. And a student night out can look a lot like a Laurel and Hardy movie. But here, these old cars and these young students,
that's a part number,
need each other like a windshield needs a wiper. McPherson College is home to the nation's first and only 4-year automotive restoration program. Riley Soika. He didn't want to learn just to be a mechanic.
To whack it basically as hard as you can.
Nope, he came here to learn the art of fixing what's there, not replacing it.
Seeing the facility for the first time, it was kind of like that aha moment, like, this is it, I know it.
Now, this is not a trade school.
It will need to be down far enough.
McPherson is a private liberal arts college.
Okay, so we'll use that instead.
Where undergraduates like Anthony Campanelli will each earn a Bachelor of Science degree for rescuing rolling relics.
You learn everything. You learn how to do paint work, metal work, body work, engine work, transmission work, basically anything and everything to fully restore a car.
Brian Martin is the senior director here.
This is how a lot of our projects will start.
He's also a McPherson alum.
This is restorable?
This is restorable.
But this would still take years.
This would take years.
As bad as it looks, this 1925 Rolls-Royce could one day end up looking like this, a 1917 Willys Knight.
So this was all restored by the students?
This was all restored by students.
Why do you think a program like this is so necessary? Why is it so important?
The skills that go into restoring these cars to what they were when they were first created are getting lost.
Amanda Gutierrez is McPherson's vice president of the program, which means she has access to the school's project cars, including this 1965 Porsche.
How popular is it? I mean, you're pretty much full up every year, right?
We had this year about 160 student applications that we looked at for 60 spots.
Does that look like that's in the window?
Students like Isabella Bradley and Joe Behar.
Call my friends at the end of the day and they'll be telling me about how they had to take a math midterm, and I'll just say, oh yeah, I had to take a welding test. I had to, get a piece of metal looking good.
Because sometimes you're walking into your other courses all covered in stuff, dirty.
That's because it's not just hands-on learning, but there's plenty of classroom work too.
My lights aren't on. I must have that.
Like courses in automotive history and business.
We don't have any Greek life. We don't, it's really not a party school. Most days of the week, we go over to the sheds and work on our cars and hang out and tell stories.
The sheds are an off-campus facility where students work on their own vehicles on their own time. These aren't fancy, one-of-a-kinds, but their meaning is just as valuable. Tegan Longtime brought his great-grandparents' 55 Oldsmobile with him to college. Its nickname? Bluebird.
It's been in the family since it came off the lot.
He's got a picture of his great-grandmother on the dash, and all the blue upholstery he did himself. Tegan was so good at upholstery, in fact, that it landed him a job at Martin Brothers Customs near Austin, Texas, home to Motor Trend's popular reality show.
This is Iron Resurrection.
I was like, oh, I've been watching these guys for years. I want to go get a t-shirt. So I walked in, asked for a t-shirt, and I walked out with them telling me, if you want a job here, it's yours.
Because of the reputation of the school? Was that good?
Yeah, it's that good.
By some estimates, there are at least 40 million collector cars in the U.S.
I guess it's fair to call this the Cadillac of Cadillacs.
Big auction companies like Mecum, as well as car museums and restoration shops and private collectors, they're all in growing need of qualified people to keep those old cars on the road.
Look at that, I'm charging, my battery's charging.
After all, even Jay Leno doesn't fix, restore, and show his cars by himself. Which may explain why back in 1997, Leno actually called McPherson College himself.
Did you guys think you were being pranked? I mean...
Absolutely, absolutely.
Turns out he was being honored with a car award, and he wanted to use the occasion to highlight what students in the middle of Kansas were doing to preserve the craft.
And I remember my boss coming back into my office, and he walked in with a stack of business cards, and he said, everybody wants to know about our students.
But that's not McPherson's claim to fame. This is a 1953 Mercedes-Benz. After 7 years of meticulous work by more than 60 students, it was restored, nut by nut, bolt by bolt, and the college was invited to enter that Mercedes into the Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance, one of the world's most prestigious car competitions.
It's like a high school team competing in the Super Bowl.
Built, restored by the McPherson students.
And guess what? It placed second in its class in 2023. The first entirely student-restored car in Pebble's 73-year history to do that. It looks and runs like the day it came off the line in Germany more than 60 years ago.
Do you know what it's worth now?
Yeah.
He'd prefer not to say. The school isn't selling it anyway. Its real value is as a rolling mascot.
Oh, congratulations. And this one is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, it's a special car.
It's become McPherson's ambassador. Like here at the Amelia last year, a car extravaganza on Amelia Island, just north of Jacksonville, Florida.
Within the program, we have a couple different areas of emphasis.
Since the cars win at Pebble Beach, applications to McPherson's auto restoration program have increased by 85%.
More and more, we get employers who are like, oh yeah, we just never seen anything like this, and we never realized that there was a place that is producing future restorers.
It's a craft, to be sure, Those who restore cars learn to be detectives and mechanics, historians, and artists. And most will admit they're all pretty car crazy, too. The ghosts of our roadways have a lot to offer the future, if that is, you listen to what they have to say. And in McPherson, the students are all ears.
Seeing our students be able to accomplish what they want and to connect with people who care about them and want to give them those opportunities, that I'll take that all day long.
It's a museum show featuring art on 4 wheels. Serena Altschul takes us for a spin.
This year, the meaning of arriving in style rose to new heights as these cars parked in a new exhibit at the Museum of Modern Art in New York. The exhibit features 9 vehicles, from the unique 1946 Cisitalia 202 GT.
It's unbelievable. Each of the pieces of the car, the components were handmade.
To more familiar cars like the Volkswagen Beetle.
These are just so beautiful. They always catch your eye. It's the Airstream land yacht. It has everything you need, but it doesn't have any of the extra frills. You have your stove, you've got your kitchen sink, you've got your toilet, and you've got a bed and a couch.
Andrew Gardner is one of the show's curators.
A car can be so many things to different people, memories, nostalgia. It's really remarkable when you think about the ways that cars can bring different kinds of audiences into a place like MoMA. That's a really good feeling.
The show features cars as art, and also art inspired by cars, like this painted hood by Judy Chicago.
I think she was really fascinated with the fact that cars were stereotypically male objects, but embedded in their form and their shape and the kind of sumptuous details of the cars was this very feminized approach to car design and car culture.
Or this sketch by Frank Lloyd Wright.
Frank Lloyd Wright was obsessed with cars. You can feel the optimism. Yeah. I mean, the hopefulness. And he was looking to the car to shape the 20th century, and he was very prescient in his thinking.
This isn't MoMA's first exhibit revolving around cars. The first was in 1951. But speed up to 2021 and the museum has taken a different direction. This show is called Automania, after an Oscar-nominated film from 1963 that questions our dependence on cars.
You actually see these cars piling up, and you really are like, does our entire life have to be organized around this one thing? Right. And it brings up really important questions that I think we really wanted to get at in the exhibition. So the show is not just a celebration, but it's also a critique. Absolutely.
That intersection of apprehension and adoration towards cars has existed since gasoline-powered automobiles first rolled into our lives in the 1890s. The Ford Model T and assembly lines brought cars to the masses and served as an engine for post-war economic growth. But those weren't the only changes fueled by cars.
It is fundamental to virtually everything that we do in modern society and how we operate within it. But then at the same time, we also know that they're polluting our cities and contributing to the loss of habitats and changing the whole way that we live in the world. I think beginning in the early to mid 1960s, you really start seeing, these artists who are kind of taking the automobile to task.
Like Andy Warhol with his work Orange Car Crash 14 Times.
It really speaks about the horrors of what a bad car accident can do. The violence of the automobile is really sort of front and center in this piece.
And this poster by German graphic artist Klaus Steck.
The crisscrossing of roads across the whole kind of urban landscape, it's a world profoundly changed. And chaos, kind of, like which way, every way, they're all wrapping over each other. There's also this kind of hope that is growing from this kind of chaos of the urban landscape, and you really see that there might be a new direction or a new way of thinking about how the cars can transform our lives.
Today, there are an estimated 1.5 billion cars around the world. It's a statistic driving debates over electric cars and infrastructure, and one that's led us to ponder what's around the bend on this century-old joyride with cars.
Are we at this inflection point? Is that, where we are today?
We're certainly at a changing point in the ways that cars are going to be manufactured for years to come. The question of whether the car is a good thing or a bad thing is a question we'll continue to grapple with for generations.
Best to keep both hands on the wheel when you're driving this 2003 Caterham convertible. But will we even need to drive cars in the future? A question for David Pogue.
Remember a few years ago, there were a whole lot of headlines about self-driving cars. Whatever happened to that?
Well, they're closer than you think. Already, a Tesla on cruise control can pass the slowpoke ahead of you all by itself.
And check this out. If you're on the highway and there's a GPS destination, the car will suggest changing lanes to get into the exit ramp lane. Then it will signal and actually take the exit for you. Watch this. Now, the car is slowing down to the correct speed limit for the exit ramp. That chime means, back to you, human. I'm going to come to a stop and you take over.
And self-driving taxis are available in 4 American cities, with more on the way.
We've got a self-driving option right here in the app.
Yeah. Self-driving requested.
And there we are, our self-driving ride.
Jody Kelman met me in Las Vegas. She's a director of Lyft's self-driving taxi program.
40,000 people have already done it. This is becoming incredibly normal for people.
Well, thank you.
Nice to meet you. Have fun.
These cars never get drowsy. They're never impaired by alcohol. They're never distracted by their cell phone.
Carl Yanyema is the president of self-driving at Aptiv.
It pretty much still looks like a regular car.
Which builds self-driving technology for Lyft and other fleets.
We've got 21 sensors, very seamlessly integrated. We had these LiDARs in front. We got radars. We have some camera systems, kind of looking forward.
The first thing I noticed about this driverless taxi is that it had a driver.
They're ready to take over in case the car sees something unexpected or does something that we didn't anticipate.
What do you mean?
In Singapore, we were driving one day. We saw crossing the road a fellow in a chicken suit.
The car didn't recognize the chicken suit.
The car wasn't quite sure what was going on.
During our 45-minute ride, the safety human never touched the controls. The driving was smooth, safe, and polite, which I could not say for all the human drivers around us.
This is the polar opposite of an autonomous car.
Yes, you're controlling everything, which is kind of what makes driving an old car like this so wonderful.
Jason Torchinsky is the author of Robot Take the Wheel. He took the wheel of a 1966 MG.
When you're driving, there's a satisfaction that happens because you feel everything. Like when you're in a self-driving car, it's gonna be like taking a plane. You get in one place, you look at your phone for 3 hours, and you get off at a new place.
So are you a self-driving hater?
No, by no means. I think there's a place for self-driving cars, absolutely. But I never want to give up my own ability to drive, I think.
The road to self-driving hasn't been entirely smooth. 5 people have died in self-driving car accidents. Computers aren't perfect.
Of course, as Aptiv's Carl Yanyema points out, human drivers have a much worse record.
Worldwide, over 1.3 million people dying per year on the road. And we believe that we can dramatically reduce that number. Those are preventable deaths.
I'm sure there are people who are watching this broadcast going, you'll never catch me in one of those things. What do you say to those people?
I say go to Vegas and try it for yourself. In Vegas, we've never had an accident caused by our technology. And once people get in the car and feel how safe it is and how comfortable and smooth, they're believers.
Maybe you're not convinced. Well, don't worry. For the foreseeable future, driverless cars will be more than safe, comfortable, and smooth. They'll also be optional.
Thank you.
A parade of Italian beauties rolled into Nashville recently. 19 classic automobiles, each more irresistible than the next, arrived at the Frist Center for the Visual Arts for the opening of Bellissima, an exhibition celebrating Italy's post-war automotive renaissance.
You know, the beauty of the design.
Dr. Thomas Mao kept a close eye as his Lancia Stratos was unloaded and sat behind the steering wheel as the one-of-a-kind wedge car was pulled into the gallery.
Stop. You squeeze and turn, and that serves as a door release.
And that's actually the keyhole.
That's a keyhole there as well, so you can actually lock it.
So now.
Climbing in can require gymnastic skill.
Oof.
Do you escort your car wherever it goes?
Well, it's a bit like attending graduations or your daughter's wedding. I mean, you just got to be there.
Mao, a management consultant and renowned watch collector, couldn't resist the Stratos when it unexpectedly came up for auction in 2011. He paid just over $1 million for it.
I was driving around for a couple of days afterwards, just in a state of euphoria, but also like, oh my God, what did I do?
Buyer's remorse?
Never buyer's remorse, but kind of a sanity check.
The chrome and the curves on these Italian classics inspire that kind of crazy passion.
These cars still look modern.
They look like they haven't been built yet. I mean, they look like they'll be built in the next decade. They're pretty incredible.
The familiar names are at the Frist, of course: Ferrari, Lamborghini, Maserati. But the ultimate example, says Chief Curator Mark Scala, is a trio of cars commissioned by Alfa Romeo in the 50s, called the Berlinetta Aerodinamica Tecnica.
The Bat cars were designed by Franco Scaglione, and Scaglione had been in aviation, but he'd also been a fashion designer. These are kind of like Milanese gowns on wheels. I mean, they're really, really meant to be beautiful.
Some of the cars created in Italy were aimed at America, like the creamsicle-colored Lincoln Indianapolis.
This is a Lincoln, but it's an Italian design.
Yes. Yeah, it was done this way because Carrozzeria Boano wanted to get the lucrative business of the American market.
Legendary car guy Ken Gross, who curated the exhibition, says the Italian coach builders Boano designed this body on a Lincoln chassis in 1955.
Lincoln was working on its own two-seater personal coupe, the Continental, so when this was finished, there was really no market for it.
The 37th International Automobile Salon at Turin.
The Chrysler Ghia Gilda, also introduced in 1955, in Turin, would have a more lasting impact.
Fantasy? No, it's the car of the future by Fiat. Whichever way you look at it on the revolving stand, it's certainly an eye-catcher. Here it is from the other end.
Commissioned by Chrysler, the Ghia Gilda and its fabulous fins would influence a decade of Chrysler styling. Which brings us back to Dr. Thomas Mao's car, the 1970 Lancia Stratos HF0, which appeared in the Michael Jackson film Moonwalker. It was designed on spec by Nuccio Bertoni, who arrived at the Lancia security gate without an appointment.
They wouldn't raise the
barrier
for him, and he just drove right underneath it.
How high is this car?
33 inches at the highest point.
33 inches?
So it actually still holds the world record for the lowest fully functional vehicle ever made.
Dr. Mao has had a lifelong love affair with the car.
It still takes your breath away.
It still does. I come back into the gallery and see it, and I'm just head over heels, in love again.
If you can dream it, you can do it, Enzo Ferrari famously said. This fall, the Frist Center in Nashville is a parking lot full of dreams.
So I have just one question. How do we get out of this thing?
Very carefully.
In a forest an hour's drive north of Atlanta, an unusual museum has taken root.
Yes, Old Car City, Old Car City, USA.
What do you think, looking around this place?
I think it's a 34-acre piece of art.
34-acre piece of art.
Yeah.
It also happens to be something else, a junkyard. Dean Lewis is the owner and one could say the curator of Old Car City, USA in White, Georgia.
I don't think anyone else has 4,200 old American cars, 1972 and older.
And if they do, no one keeps them in a garage quite like this. Detroit may have designed these rides, but Mother Nature has done all the detailing. Some cars have grown right up with the trees. Others have become 2-ton flower pots. This wild ride started in 1931 when Dean Lewis's parents bought a plot of land and opened a general store.
No electricity, no paved roads. Gas was 19 cents a gallon, apples 1 cent each. Later, they bought an old junk car or two, sold parts, made another $1 in Depression time. Several years later, I was born, born in a junkyard.
When you were a kid, you played around in all the junk cars?
Oh, I've drove 1,000,000 miles, never moved an inch.
After high school, Dean spent a few years saving up money working as a truck terminal manager. And then one by one, he started picking up used cars, more than 4,000, and hauling them home so his parents could sell off their parts. For almost 5 decades, the Lewis family had the best car parts business around. But as many of their cars rusted and rotted and began to merge with the landscape, Dean had an epiphany.
You had a vision of this place going from junkyard to museum?
Over 30 years ago, I told my son, daughter, Jeff and Tracy, that this place would probably turn into the show place one day rather than the sales place. And it has.
Now, hundreds of visitors a year pay $15, $25 if they want to bring a camera, just to take in that strange organic harmony of rust and roots.
I live in Detroit, and Detroit is the Motor City. And I thought, what a great idea to come down and see what the cars look like from the 1950s.
Melody Andrews is one of dozens of photographers who travel here every week from as far away as Thailand and Sweden.
This is the absolute best place I have ever been to shoot. There's so much here to do, to see, to learn, and to smell. You can smell the oldness of the cars. There's history here.
I would imagine every car has a story. This one in particular?
This one in particular because my dad in 1965 bought this car for my wife right after we got married, and she drove it for years, and that's been here for 40 years. I saved it like I've saved every car I've ever had, never traded anything in.
All of the cars you've ever had are
Almost
in this
every
junkyard?
one, yeah.
Do you have a problem with throwing things away, Dean?
Yeah, no, I don't throw anything away.
While the cars are the stars here, you'll also find a lot of Dean Lewis and his unique sense of humor along the 6 miles of trails. Like wind chimes made of hubcaps and tailpipes. And Dean's best friends? They're also a part of this place, like his childhood buddy, Fast Eddie, who wrote a theme song for him called The Old Car City Blues.
6 miles of trails full of history.
Of the thousands of cars here, Dean's restored about a half dozen. He says all the cars are technically for sale for the right price, but really, it's hard to imagine he'd let any of them drive off.
What do you say to people who say you're letting history rot away?
Well, they're getting another life, and they'll be remembered by the pictures.
So he's preserving them in a living auto show for the ages.
50 miles
And if you ever decide to stop by, don't worry, there's plenty of parking.
It's Old Car City. Slow down, slow down.
music cuts the flow down till they bring the highways up to date. You can bet your high compression we're gonna be late.
How sad, poor Dad.
Too bad.
We're stuck, tough luck.
Yuck, yuck.
While we're waiting around, singing the blues, turn on the radio for highway news.
Route 302?
Yeah?
It's hard to get through.
Oh.
405?
Yeah?
You'll never arrive.
No.
Route 509? You can't go wrong. They're bumper to bumper, but they're moving along.
Hey, I wonder what we'd hear if I'd turn on the switch and we're driving along in 1976. Hello, Tower. This is Firebird 2304. Firebird 2304. How are things on the safety autoway?
Tower to Firebird 2. Tower to Firebird 2. All traffic moving in normal pattern.
FB2 to Tower. We're heading for Chicago. Please route us through. Over.
Roger, FB2.
View screen map shows your location within our control zone.
You have your choice of two routes. Green line marks scenic route. Red line shorter route.
We're on vacation. Who wants to fly?
Yeah, that means green. I'll tell the guy. Firebird to Tower. We'll take the green.
Roger. Check your fuel and engine.
Check. Fuel supply 3/4 full. Good for 662 miles or 6 1/3 hours. Gas turbine compressor 31,000 RPM. Gas turbine transmission 26,500 RPM. Turbine inlet temperature 1450 degrees. Turbine exhaust temperature 350 degrees. We're all set for auto control.
Roger, Firebird 2. Move to electronic control strip in center lane. Synchronize your speed and direction.
Check. I'll tune speed first. Now I'll tune direction.
We're coming in on the beam, Dad.
Well done, Firebird 2. You're now under automatic control. Hands-off steering.
Here we go on the high-speed safety lane. Ah, this is the life. Safe, cool, comfortable. Mind if I smoke a cigar?
Oh, not with this wonderful air conditioning. Hey, you want some ice cream or a cool drink?
Orange juice, please. Oh, me too.
I'm gonna go for the ice cream. Thank you, dear. Hey, there's a Firebird 1, the original gas turbine car. Looks pretty smooth for an old-timer. Here's our east-north interchange.
The safe, easy way to make a turn.
Gotta slow down, slow down. Mr. Sun is just about to go down. Hey, Mr. Tower Man, where do we light? Where do you suggest that we relax for the night? Okay, Firebird, I'll put you on the beam. The sunset in's a honey, and the hostess is a dream.
Good evening, modern travelers. Won't you be our guest? We have push button living at its very best. There's automatic sleep control in every bed, and our pre-digested food is cooked by infrared.
Okay, okay, we like what you say. Mr. Tower Man, take us that way. Roger, Firebird, I'll swing you to the right. Hands on steering, Firebird, good night.